Hey folks, imagine if you were a normal child, but curious, who starts to go from room to room to find something to play with and finding things he's not supposed to, all just because nothing can dial down his curiousness. He's going through closets and drawers until something gets his attention. Normal like any other child. But no, not this child, not this time. Have you ever seen your little brother or sister finding something or playing with something in your room? Have you has it ever happened to you where your little sister or brother find something they really were not supposed to in your room and did not tell you about it at least for a short period of time? I must have been 3 years old when I got myself in a really sad situation and I found something to play with, something a child should not be playing with. I found a box of the kitchen lighter guns, and not knowing what it is, I played with it and put something on fire and walked out the bedroom without telling anyone. Ta-da. About 18 years ago, I was maybe 3. My parents had just come back from traveling Europe and had bought and brought lots of things, and they had put them in boxes in one of those big old wall closets, like a walk-in closet, to open and use them slowly over time. We were living in the highest floor of a 4-story building each floor each floor and each floor with 2 units, with each mean as big as a house. I was a ridiculously curious kid, and while playing, I do not remember with what exactly. Somehow, I ended up in that room. Two of my aunts were in the living room with my brother, and my parents were invited somewhere. I do not remember where. So there was no one around me, and somehow I ended up opening the closet and seeing the boxes. I opened the boxes to find a whole bunch of different things. One of the things happened to be a box with 3 or 4 kitchen lighter guns. And I opened the box and took one of them out. Also in this big closet was blankets and pillows, and ironically, I put one of the blankets to one small fire. The fire grew too quickly, so I walked out and did not close the door all the way because I was scared and I wanted to watch. I saw my aunts and told them nothing and sat next to them. Here is where it seriously scared me. After a couple of minutes, because of the smoke, they realized there's a fire in the house. And they ran to the kitchen to fill the big pots with water to throw at the fire. And after maybe 10 minutes, that passed in blink of an eye. After not stopping the fire, they told me and my brother to run downstairs to the yard. This I remember very vividly. When we got to the stairs, as I was running, my legs were shaking crazy while I was running down, and it had gotten so scary that I was crying hard. I'm surprised I did not fall down. When we got down, the apartment was burning hard, and firefighters were trying but failing to stop the fire, thanks to how ironically genius I started the fire. When my parents got there, I was crying concerningly hard because I was scared of my dad. But however, he picked me up and said, "Hey, look at me, look at me. Why are you crying?" I said, "I burned our house down." To which he replied with a smile, "So what?" When the fire was finally over, there was almost nothing left of our apartment. The rest of the building, however, was intact. As for the trauma, which never had I spoken rapidly, saying anything before. But ever since the fire, when we had guests over, or when we were invited over, I would speak really rapidly, say news about our family. It caused me, it also caused me to speak more quick than normal until maybe about 7 years ago, until I started to change. It was then hacked in my brain to not even mess with fire. I caused it fire because I was a kid and not alone. So really, another lesson is to never leave your kids alone. We're still young and we have so much more to learn because life is not done teaching us. I had to learn the hard way not to mess with fire, but not all lessons will be learned the hard way. But even then, we only need to remember that we'll be fine after. And sometimes it will be seriously emotionally hard, but it is part of life. Not to forget that in the end we'll be fine is the challenge. Thank you.